Hi, good morning, everyone. Let me know that you can see me and hear me on this live. We are streaming live as I think we're all ready to go. Okay, good morning, everyone. Let me know that you can see me and hear me on this live. We are streaming. I think we're all ready to go. Lizzie Lou, hello, I see you. Chris Caldy, hello. Robin, good morning. How are you doing? This is great. Hello, Kenine from New NYC. Awesome, you're in my neighborhood. Christina, good to see you too. Dana, hi. Rachel, I see you. Awesome. So great to have people jumping on this morning. Woohoo! So it's been Stephanie. Hi, honey. So good to see you here. Lizzie says, please distract me so I can drink this sweet juice. Put some lemon in it, or lime, or a little bit of apple, and it should work out, Lizzie. I know, it takes a while to get used to the celery juice. Carrie, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Jess, good morning. Denise, you look so beautiful. Oh, thank you. You're very, very sweet. Well, actually, you know what? I don't know about you guys. I've had the shittiest week with sleep. It was this crazy energy of the new moon, and I just couldn't sleep. I would go to bed. I've been in bed trying to be really good about getting into bed every night at 11, but I couldn't sleep till around 1. And some nights, even after taking all of my sleep supplements, just couldn't sleep. And I felt like I got my butt kicked this week. So crazy. Roxana says, good morning. Casey, good morning. Andrew, hey, good to have a guy on here. How are you doing? Yeah, I was talking about getting my butt kicked with sleep this week. It was really intense. I really did not sleep very well at all. And as a result, I find that like my viral, my viral stuff that's been going on with my arm just is more intense. So like this morning, I woke up with a lot more pain, but I also slept until 9:20, and it's 10 o'clock. And my husband was like, "Are you gonna get up? Because you have a live at 10?" And I'm like, yeah, it's I said, yeah, I'm getting up, but it just goes to show that when you're not resting enough or you're not taking care of yourself. I mean, I have been taking care of myself. I do a lot of things to take care of myself, but when it's when I'm going to launch next week and trying to see clients and do all that, it's just so busy. It's so busy trying to deal with emergencies, and so yeah, lack of sleep. And I know everybody goes through it. I also know that some people have a long-term issue with sleep. I have had more issues with sleep since my babies were born. That was really hard. Once the babies come, then I don't think I've slept a full night since they were born. Like, I want to say 10 years, even while I was pregnant. But last night felt like as solid a night as I was getting. I still wake up, because my daughter moves around or something. So it's not like uninterrupted, but at least she didn't wake me up at 4 or 5 in the morning, after which I just cannot go back to sleep. But I slept through to she woke me up at, 7. And then I don't even remember what I said. And then I said, I'm like, okay, whatever. And I think I went back to sleep. So I'm really proud of myself for doing that, because I feel so much better in my body. Sleep is so critical. Andrew says, great. Why no guys? Andrew, it's not that there's no guys, it's fewer guys. And the reason for that is that women are typically sicker, and women are typically more sensitive to being sick. I think guys rough it out a little more, but guys don't experience sickness the way women do. Women get taken out if they're sick. Like, if they're really sick, they can't function, they're gonna be much more likely to do something about it and to seek outside outside what's conventional, which is why, when you go to, like last year at Anthony's event, there were like 2,500 people there, the majority of whom were women. And then the one in Florida, the majority were women. And it's just that women just come to these things way more than men do. Women are much more into this stuff. It's clear because, women show, it's not that men are not, they're just fewer. And there are always men on these lives, just usually a handful. Whereas like there's a lot of women, hundreds of women and a few men. But I think that the, men are waking up too. They're coming to this themselves. Usually I think a lot of women who have partners who are men rely on their women to provide them the information they need. And so the partner may not be so interested because he knows he's going to get it from his woman. And women typically lead the movement in affecting change in their families, as much as women sometimes freak out or get, they're not, they're like wondering if they have all that power. And I always say to them, I'm like, okay, so you tell me, sorry, I'm coming out of the screen there. I said, you tell me who buys, like in the majority of homes, right? Who buys the groceries? And the women will say, well, we do. And then I say to them, okay, well, who cooks? And they'll often say, well, we do. And I say to them, I'm like, okay, well, then you have all the power to do what you want in that department, whereas I think men don't tend to take charge. And I'm only generalizing because there are obviously exceptions to this, but for the most part, women do the work of food in most cases. So that's what I want to share. And then because they're the ones in charge of that, they're also the ones in charge of, they understand an intrinsic link between food and health. I'm talking about in general. So that's why women show up to these things more. And it's a long answer, but I've always wondered that myself. And, it's what you see, it's what you hear. I know my husband, even if he's not well, he'll stay in bed. He won't do anything. He'll just say, I just need to sleep. Once I sleep, I'll feel better. And that's all he does. Like if I give him something, I think in the 17 years we've been together, he has only ever asked me for a remedy like 3 times on his own. So he's not into that. Whereas me, if you see my nightstand, if you see my office desk, there's like lines and rows of stuff that I take. He doesn't do it. I have to force him to take zinc and ester C. He's like, I feel okay. I don't need it. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but it's good for you to take it. So men generally are not. I think if a man is really sick and he's got, a really big issue, he'll take care of himself. But if it's women, get there much sooner. It's like little things show up or they're not feeling too great. They want to look into it. They want to get better and they'll find out. Men can go a lot longer without doing that. So that's my really, really long answer to your why no men. Okay. You guys are so great. So many people coming on. Naoko, good morning. Thank you. Fionn, I can completely understand what you're talking about when it comes to sleep. Yes. Trish, hey. Julie, hey. Christina Nielsen, hey. Lizzie says, no way you just woke up 40 minutes ago. Oh, totally. I just woke up 40 minutes ago. Rushed to get here. Allie, hi, honey. How are you? Leon, yes. Yeah. So I think a lot of us can relate to the issue about men, and we can relate to the issue about sleep. If you did not have good sleep today or this week, let me know. I think there's a big energy. Lisa Lynn, hi, honey. Casa Jeanette, hello. How are you, my dear? It's so good to see you here. So if you did not have good sleep this week, let me know, because I think that there's things that we can discuss around what's going on with the moons and the new moons, and usually on the new moon is when the energy recedes and we're able to sleep more, and it's the full moon that actually winds us up, winds us up into a more what's the question? Winds us up into more action, more wakedness, more having more energy, so we don't sleep as well. But this week felt really intense with terrible sleep. And not just me, but my kids too. And that's when I know that there's something going on that's more intense. So I gave a little melatonin to my oldest daughter who struggles with this. And then I gave myself some. And even though I've been, struggling with the whole sleep thing, I struggle in general to fall asleep on time. Like, I'm really not good at getting to bed by 10 o'clock. That's just not me. I tend to go like for the 11 o'clock. No, so I've made a commitment to myself that I am going to, this weekend, for example, go to bed by 10 p.m. Like being in bed before 10 p.m. So by 10 p.m. I can be actually falling asleep. So it's, I think that sometimes when you have adrenal fatigue, which I definitely do and struggle with on and off over different periods, sleep can be affected by that. And running on adrenals can affect you too. Like running on adrenals is just not good. Even though I eat often, I think it runs anyway because I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on emails, because my adrenaline runs with that constantly. If I read about someone who's really not feeling well, my adrenals will start to run, even though I'm not worried. It's just something that, is part of our life. I have to take care of, right? So all of you are commenting. You're like, yeah, it's been a tough week with sleep. Christy says, sleep and I are not friends right now. I have a dry cough from this bug. I'm sucking down honey water, but it's not helping. What causes that dry cough and how to make it stop? Dry coughs are usually caused by, a viral bug, and they will take time to clear. You have to really give it time. Dry coughs can really be helped by homeopathy. So Christy, I don't know if you watched our free homeopathic webinar, but if you're not already hooked up with the homeopath, I would connect with her because it can be like one remedy that can switch and, not like, for example, I'll give you an example of how quickly homeopathy can work. So a few months ago, my daughter had this cough that would start when she would lie down. And there's a specific remedy in homeopathy that is for cough upon laying down. And, I knew it was there. And for a few days, I couldn't remember. So I connected with my homeopath and I asked her, she goes, it's this one. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. And I gave it to her like the moment she coughed at night while lying down. And the rest of the night, she didn't cough. So while I know that remedies don't always work so effective for everybody, but check it out. Some of these to boost up your own immune system in order to support you. Roxana says, please explain the support that'll be in your inbox daily. Who's going to support, blah, 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 blah. Roxana, I would really recommend that you direct all questions about the cleanse that are technical, or if you've signed up, or have you signed up, or if you're not signed up. Either way, go to team@muneezaahmed.com. I'm going to do all of the calls. So all of the calls are being done by me. They always are. They always will be. All of the calls are group calls. So, everybody gets to jump on the call with me, and we have live Q&A calls. I'm not sure what you mean by bi-weekly support. I'll be in your inbox daily. Yes, it's daily because it's a 2-week cleanse. So there'll be daily support email. Chris says, very tough week with sleep. Claire says, yes, sleeping has been awful. So wired. Yeah. So, I started to do more sleep supplements and adrenal supplements. So if you are I'm not sure why there's so many angry faces popping up on the screen. Is that a mistake, or this like all that I see here is angry faces and wow faces? Um, okay, not sure why that's happening. If there's something that's a problem, just say so. I'm not sure what the angry faces mean. I've never seen so many come across my screen. Okay, not sure what I said. So very tough week with sleep. Claire says, yes, sleeping has been awful. Lizzie Lou says, I'm struggling big time with insomnia. I sleep from 10 to 2, then toss and turn, and I fall back asleep at 3, and then I'm back up at 4. Casey says 3 to 5 hours sleeps for me. Elena says, hi, have not been able to have a complete night of sleep for over 40 years. Gosh, my heart goes out to you. Denise says, I wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. every morning feeling racy. Is that the adrenals? Yes, it is. So for a lot of you, this is all adrenal related. And by the way, adrenals and blood sugar are really connected and really related. So it's really important to understand that connection between blood sugar, adrenals, and sleep, because they're all really, really connected. Kim Alexander says, I'm in Cali and just woke up to see your beautiful spirit. Oh, thank you, Kim. So kind. It's really early for you, isn't it? Lorraine says, hi, dear one. This has been a horrible week for sleep. Yes. Julie says, I've been sleeping better this week for some odd reason. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And Lynn says, I fall asleep easily, but wake up several times. Okay. All right. And so Trish says, I woke up early, 4:30 this morning and couldn't sleep. Okay. I know some people are saying they want to change the subject, but I'm just going to talk about the sleep piece and then we'll answer some more questions. So I wanted to share with you guys about sleep. So if you're with sleep, you've got to eat often and you've got to eat the adrenal snacks. Okay. Those 3 combinations, like, banana, dates, and romaine lettuce, or butterleaf lettuce, or cucumbers, raspberry, and honey. Or I don't remember them all, but those are like, I like this one. I like the sweet potato, lettuce, and lime. That's one of my favorite ones. But if you eat those combinations throughout the day, your sleep issues will be a heck of a lot better, because your adrenals will be better. If your adrenals aren't putting out all day long, they won't get wired at night when you finally relax. So sometimes it takes time to get the adrenal situation under control, but you have to get your blood sugar situation under control first. You have to, right? So eating every 90 minutes, and really try it for a week. We're going to be talking about this in the cleanse more. I'm really going to be encouraging people to eat on time, eat better, eat, more shorter gaps between meals, because it can really make a difference to your adrenals, to your sleep, and to your blood sugar. So the blood sugar issue gets corrected first. Once that's get corrected, then your sleep can be much easier. Knocking down a viral load can be super helpful for sleep too. Also, liver issues. Liver issues can wake us up, because if the liver heats up at night because it's trying to clear out something or detox something, or it's trying to work super hard and it's working hard, but it's working too hard, that sweat that it produces will wake us up. And so if you need to sleep more, then definitely look on Anthony's page. And he's got a lot of sleep supplements there, which I would encourage you to bring in so that you can manage your sleep. So sometimes, even if you're not able to get a full night's rest, or even if you're not able to go to sleep at night. Last night, I took tons of melatonin, I took 15 milligrams of it. And I don't normally need anything to go to sleep. But what I'm trying to do is to go to sleep earlier, because I've slept past 1 o'clock every night, 1 a.m. this week. Not because I wasn't in bed. I was in bed and something kept happening, or my daughter needed support. It was always something. And so I took it at 9:30. And so by 10:20, I was out like a light. So I think that my body wants to sleep, and most of us do want that, but we're not getting there. Even if you're wired at night and you take it, it will calm you down. There's other things in that protocol too with sleep. You know, check out the sleep supplements on the site and make sure you're getting enough magnesium. Make sure you're eating enough glucose right before you go to bed so that you can be tided over. And if you wake up in the middle of the night, keep some fruit on your nightstand or your bedside table, so that either a banana or something that's easy to eat, or like a spoonful of honey, so that you can take that. And usually putting that into your mouth and going and getting that glucose into your body can help you relax again and go to sleep. I know it sounds really weird and funny, but it's really, really important to consider that. Okay, so I know there's some other questions popping up here. Okay, let me find them. So Christy says, what causes COPD? So COPD is a lung disease. And the best things for it's viral. So you have to it's viral and strep together. So you have to address those pieces in the protocol, right? So make sure that you're bringing in bacterial support, you're bringing in viral support, you're bringing in a lot of like herbs that provide lung support, like lomatium and osha, and the herbs that are in bronchial wellness. Those are super important. Evalie says she's here with her celery juice. Yay! I haven't had time to make mine yet. I might just go to the juice store down the street and get mine after we're done here. Okay. Kathy Loso, hello. Carrie Smith says, what causes bunions? Bunions are caused by encapsulation of viruses in our body. So as the body encapsulates, it produces a growth, and that's what causes a bunion. So I want to say I'm still getting a shit ton of emails about the cleanse, which, by the way, I'm very excited about. I'm glad that so many of you are interested in it. I love the fact that you have so many questions. You know, if you have a more general question about the cleanse, I'm happy to answer it here. But if you have specific questions about calls and things like that, like Roxana asked, I was happy to answer it. But please direct those to team@muneezaahmed.com. Lots of people jumping in about asking questions about the cleanse. And I wanted to share with you one of the reasons why I talk about detox all the time. This afternoon, you're going to see a post come out about my arm. And I posted this as something I've never posted before. And it's actually the pictures of the progression of my arm from the time it started until now, and until it's like so much better. And what I wanted to share was that some of those pictures are pretty gross looking and pretty yucky looking. And the reason I'm sharing them is because I think that it's hard to see what can be happening when you actually see it and it looks really bad. I can tell you it was scary and it was really, really frightening to see something like that happen to my body. But at the same time, the thing that gave me the most leverage on my healing, first of all, was being on these protocols. Like I live a diet, I live a lifestyle with a detox protocol, right? I live a lifestyle which has all of these pieces that I do every day. I don't take breaks from it. I pretty much just live it the way it is because it's what keeps me super healthy. Not everybody's as sensitive as I am, so you may not need it all the time, but many of us would benefit from it. And so what I'm sharing in the post is that this lifestyle to me is like my health insurance. And it's really important for me to have that in place because that way I know I give myself the best chances for feeling better, feeling good, and my healing goes so much faster. So that's what I wanted to share. And if you're really wanting to, engage more in learning about this kind of a lifestyle, if you're not, I know there's some new people here. I know many of you have already signed up. For those who are new or those who may be on the fence or those who may be wondering, this program is amazing for this and amazing to support you, to provide a plan for you, to provide deeper insight for you, and for me to really answer those questions much more deeply. So it would be super, super helpful for you to go check it out. And I think that really, if life can happen. It doesn't just have to be a bite. It could be a stress. It could be the death of a loved one. It could be the death of a pet. It could be, divorce. It could be so many women that I have been speaking to in the last 6 months have been sharing with me that, they're either they've been served divorce papers or what have you, and they've been calling me in panic because they are not feeling well and symptoms have triggered and something's going on and they just don't feel good. And I don't want, you guys to be in that situation. If you are, that your health is best aligned to deal with it, because life is gonna happen. There's no way that it won't. We all have stresses show up at some time or the other. Maybe we have a good one and sometimes something shows up, but it just happens. It's the way life is. So I really, really, really want to share that it's really important to check out learning about a detox lifestyle and how it can be done with more ease and grace in your life, so that it doesn't feel like you're constantly having to do a cleanse and then you're off a cleanse, do a cleanse and then off a cleanse. I suggest really being in a place of detox most of the time. Like even if it was 50% of the time, the odds would be in your favor, right? With health, it's like a balancing scale. You can have odds in your favor, or you can stack them in your favor, or you can stack them not in your favor, or you can stack them against you. So really you want to be stacking them in your favor, which is why living this kind of a lifestyle stacks a lot in your favor, because you can't predict life. And it's really important to have tools in place. It's really important to have, strategies. Health is about strategies. Have strategies in place that can help you protect yourself. And I think I really believe this. I really think it's important. It's what I'm going to be teaching my kids. I teach them anyway, but as they grow older, I'm going to talk about this to them too. And say, it's all about how you stack things in your favor. Just like, with finances, people save and invest in order to stack things in their favor. This is the same thing. You're saving your health and you're investing in your health to stack things in your favor. It's just a smart thing to do, because we do it in other realms. Like we do it with finances, we do it with planning our future, we do it with everything else. We need to do it with our health too. It is so important. I'm posting the link here for the cleanse. If you haven't already checked it out, check it out. So, all right. So a lot of you are saying you didn't see any angry faces, that you saw hearts. So that makes me feel a lot better. I'm like, why is only seeing angry faces? That's so weird. That's never happened before. All right. So going back to questions, Anna said, not to change the subject, but can golden seal, propolis, and mullein irritate the stomach? Yes, they can. And I'm on them for a shingles flare, and after an hour of taking them, I get a horrible stomach ache. So take them on a full stomach, okay? So that you don't, because they're also, like mullein is also really, and golden seal is really powerful against strep. And if you have strep in your gut, that can do that too. While it dies off, it can cause a stomach ache too. Jess says, I struggled going to sleep by 11. I was going at 1:30 a.m. I was able to attend a sound meditation event. It helped so much. Also, listening to sound frequency videos on YouTube literally made my nervous system melt. I was so relaxed. I think sound frequencies are awesome. In fact, I was at my IV therapist's office, and she had these color therapy glasses. And I was really intrigued. I'm like, what are those? I'd never seen them before. And she goes, pick a color that you're drawn to. So I picked one and I put it on. So it's just a colored lens and I'm looking through it. And she's like, don't you find your body relaxes? Because the stimulation of the light that was coming into your eyes is so typically strong on any given day that these were sort of blocking out certain light frequencies and you were able to relax. So I'm for anything that naturally like that can help your nervous system relax. Sound meditation is awesome. Even, I like to actually, when I go to bed at night, I wear an eye patch over my eye mask, right? Over my face, because I am a light sleeper. So any little stimulation of sound or noise. So I also wear headphones and I listen to a deep meditation delta sleep track while I'm sleeping, just on a regular basis, because there is a lot of noise from people in my home at night. So basically they, somebody will wake up and I'm like, okay, I don't need to be awake at all of those noises. So I protect myself. And one of the ways I do it is to listen to this track while I'm resting, and I wear an eye mask. So when the sun starts to come in, so I wake up at the crack of dawn. It usually doesn't matter when it is in the season or in the year. So even if it's in the summertime and it's really early, like 3, 4 in the morning, my eyes will be like, oh, it's light. Like my brain registers light. And I suppose that if we were in a regular natural state that we have been designed to be in, which would be to live in nature and to be in that space, we wouldn't suffer so much from these issues with sleep. That if we woke up at the crack of dawn, that's okay, because that's the time we're supposed to wake up. Roosters wake up at that time too, right? Animals start to rise at the crack of dawn. It's just a cycle of life and the rhythm of the sleep of life. But I don't want to be up at the crack of dawn, because usually I need way more sleep than that, because I'm in recovery. And so wearing an eye mask for me, just I don't notice that it's even light until much later, which is great for me because I need that. Okay, so next question is Fion says, can you tell me which salt lamps are good to buy? We have a salt room nearby and they sell lamps, and I'd like to know if they're the ones that will really work. Most salt lamps will work. I don't think that there's any really bad salt lamps. You just want to check where they came from. So they should be from India or Pakistan. That's where they're mostly made, because they harvest the salt from Himalayan salt's only available in the Himalayas, right? So you have to check whether it's a Himalayan lamp or what kind of a lamp it is. I have gotten mine from a Pakistani guy who is in the United States, who brings them in from Pakistan. And I know that, I like to support people like that. So that's why I purchased from him. Yeah, you can definitely, I think his website is Gamma something. Gamma, I'd have to look it up, but you can email our office and I can try and get you that link. Okay, so Lorraine says, left hip and back has been acting up this past week due to the moon. It could be due to lack of sleep. And so my arm has been acting up because of lack of sleep. Kaneen says, traveling now and I cut back on antivirals and lysine and had a huge nerve flare and only left trapped muscles, couldn't sleep on sides, so much pain, compromised sleep and functioning, added back high dose lysine, pain gone, hallelujah. So yeah, so you guys, I know so many people ask me, can I reduce what I'm taking when I'm traveling? And I don't want to travel with all these liquids, or I don't want to travel with all this stuff. And you know what? Personally, I don't cut corners on anything I have to take with me when I am traveling. Because when you're traveling, you need extra insurance, not less. I know that we have trouble with our, weight allowances and things like that. But I will cut back on other things. I'll take fewer shoes. I'll take fewer clothes. I'll take fewer of anything else, but I don't cut back on my sleep subs or any of my supplements that I need to take with me, because God forbid, because when I'm traveling, I have more exposure to elements, right? I have to go through an airport. I have to fly, and flying is high radiation when you're flying. If you've ever flown in a plane, you are just bombarded with radiation when you're flying. So in fact, that would lower my immune system and anything else I would have more susceptibility to. So I don't cut corners with that. I take with me whatever I need. I actually take more when I'm traveling as opposed to when I'm here and local, because I don't have to deal with travel stress. But that's just my take. I know many of you want to be like cutting back on it. I'm like, people, please don't cut back on what you need. Christy says, I need that one. My son has that cough when he lays down. Yeah, I was on the webinar. Reach out to her, definitely. Chris Colley says, how best to quell nausea in the morning for my son with shingles? Have you tried ginger tea with honey? That could be super helpful. If you've tried that and that doesn't work, you can ask me anything else. Everyone's like, I see only hearts. I will equate the angry faces to the hearts because they're still kind of showing up, but I don't know whether someone's just feeling angry with their situation or if it's something I said. I just wonder because, you know, I'm not able to actually interact with all of you live, which would be so cool, right? Wouldn't it be amazing to actually gather together live and Q&A like this? It'd be fantastic. Or just not just even Q&A. I mean, I'd just love to hug you guys. That would be so fun. When starting a raw diet, what causes you to feel weak? Is it not enough calories? Yes, usually it's not enough calories and you're not eating enough and you're not eating often enough. So when you eat meat, for example, you know, that can carry you for a long time and you can, your blood sugar will stay not stable. I mean, you won't be able to get as much sugar into your blood because you're eating a lot of fat, but the fat will help you stay more stable because it has more calories in it. So when, yes, you're absolutely right. It is low blood sugar because you're just not being able to maintain that because your body's not used to it. So, you know, what have you. Lorraine says, I think they're tired faces. I think so too. Monica says, at times when I'm sleeping, I wake up as if I've stopped breathing and gasp for air. Is this viral? Sounds like more it's heavy metals, Monica. Lizzie says, I wake up at 2 a.m. with a racing heart. I know you said it's blood sugar and adrenals. How do you treat that? I would definitely work on the adrenals during the day and do some adrenal support herbs from Anthony's page. Lizzie says, can I take 5 milligrams of melatonin when I go to bed and then wake up at 2, take another? Oh yeah, you can take more even. You could take 10 before bed and 10 in that time. But you know, that's really important too. You can space it out too. Totally fine. Or 5 and 5 is fine too. Lisa says, what's the best type of magnesium to take? Anthony recommends 2 types, magnesium glycinate and Neuromag, right? Those are the 2 types he recommends the most. And they're for different things, but a lot of my clients are on both, but it depends. They're for different things if you need them. Some people don't need both. Misty says, what can be done for a burn? Oh my gosh, put aloe vera on it. Cut open a leaf and just, I take 1/2, so I'll cut, say how big it is, I'll cut off down the middle. So I have a green part on one end and a green part on the other, and gel is exposed in the middle. And then I'll take that and I'll bandage it onto the burn. And, or you can mix aloe water with silver and apply that. Like my daughter, when she was 3 years old, or maybe even 2, she, you know, she was little and she used to hold the stove and the handle of the stove and climb up from the drawer, the handle of the drawer on the bottom. So she'd climb up and touch the stove all the time. I would tell her all the time, please don't do that. And she wouldn't listen. And then one day her hand touched a hot stove. We had taken everything off and we just turned all the burners off, and she came into the kitchen, and before anybody could catch her, she did this and her entire palm was burned, the entire palm. So I took her, and this is like, did I know Anthony then? I don't remember if I did. Maybe not. It was before Anthony. So I took aloe vera. I made an aloe water bowl. I put silver hydrosol in it, not colloidal silver. And I put her entire palm in there and I put ice in it. So I put the entire palm in there, and then I gave her causticum, which is a remedy homeopathically for a burn. And I just, I just let her, I put the TV on so she wouldn't move. I put on something my kids don't really watch TV, but it was a really novel thing for her to be able to do. I wanted her to sit still and I wanted her to keep her hand in the bowl. And she did that for like, I want to say 3 hours. Like she'll say, Mommy, it's cold. And then I'd put more ice in it. I would refresh her bowl. And we did that for 3 hours. And she came out of that with not a single peel, not a single blister, their skin looked completely normal. So you can do that. Aloe vera, colloidal silver, or the silver hydrosol which by Sovereign is very powerful, that kind of thing. I would definitely go for it. Teresa Lee says, what causes cleft palates? That's a birth defect, and that's caused by heavy metals. Catherine says, why am I losing my hair falling out? My doctor says I may have lupus. Well, you probably have Epstein-Barr, which is affecting your adrenals. That sounds like alopecia, or it sounds like, which is also connected to Epstein-Barr, but also adrenal fatigue or a big adrenal event. I remember, so I don't know if you all remember, but not this past summer, but the summer before, my mother-in-law passed away. And so in March or April of this year, I started to lose a ton of hair. Like it just started to pop right out. And I remembered Anthony saying, well, I remember making a comment at the time she died. I'm like, in 8 months, I'm probably going to lose a ton of hair. And that's also what can happen if it suddenly comes on, is because you've had a really stressful event 10 months before, 8 months before, 6 months before, your hair can just start to rapidly fall out because of it. So that's super helpful to know. If your hair starts to fall out, that you can actually just, fix it and deal with the adrenal support and do the adrenal support, do the Epstein-Barr support, and it will come back. So yeah, super helpful. Cindy Pym says, what causes teeth grinding and chomping while sleeping? Usually the shingles virus does that. Judy says, thank you for doing a live video. Judy, you're so welcome. Thank you for being on here. Catherine, I always want to just have so much gratitude for all of you, because it's a Saturday morning and you guys are sitting here or doing your thing or walking around and multitasking and listening to this live. And I feel so grateful that you would do that. And it just makes me feel really full in my heart that, there are people out there who are coming on to listen and showing up live, which is a big deal. We all have busy lives and we're all doing so much and our schedules are so full, yet you're coming on and listening to a live. And it's just a really great thing. It's a really great thing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I want you to know that. I have clients asking if they can still get 15% off. Everly, if you were part of the original email that was sent out to people, basically people who were on the webinar that I did, which was the three ways to heal autoimmune, those are the people who had that available. And also, if you have a question about things to do with the cleanse and stuff like that, please email team@muneezaahmed.com. team@muneezaahmed.com. That's the best place to ask those questions. This I kind of reserve for more, general questions about the cleanse and what it's generally about to educate people. But if you have a question, if you already know that and you have a question about, stuff like a discount or stuff like what the calls mean and things like that, that is best directed to team@muneezaahmed.com. All right, Monica says, I have been on a 3-month raw, wait, where'd it go? There it is. 3-month raw detox cleanse, and I feel so much more awake and I have more energy. But when I stopped the cleanse, I continued raw until dinner and I've been so tired. And it's truly combined with my periods and a long time after. Do you think it's still the liver? Yes, it definitely is the liver. And the fact that you had more energy meant that you were cleaning out very rapidly and very quickly all the stuff that was, Epstein-Barr viral debris, which can really hang out a lot in our bodies. So if you're clearing that out, it can definitely, that has happened to me too. I've been raw for a long time and then added back cooked food and I get really, really exhausted and I feel very different. So the body also gets used to being one way. That's why it reacts. So when you change it up, it doesn't really love it because you are on such an amazing protocol and it feels so good. So your body wants you to do that again. Anna says, is nettles okay when boiled for 30 seconds and frozen? I picked a lot this summer, dried some, but most of them boiled and froze for my smoothies, but don't know why, if they must be raw like spinach. No, I don't recommend drinking or eating raw nettles. You'll burn your mouth because they sting. But you can juice them. You can juice nettles. And actually the effect raw is really powerful with nettles, or you can dry them and make a tea. If you boil them, you would lose, I think, most of what the benefit is in them. You want to dry them and then put like under boiling water on them to make your tea. Casey said, do you think muscle testing is helpful when navigating a path to wellness? Muscle testing, I have so much to say about it, Casey. Muscle testing is, it's really powerful. you have to ask the right questions. You have to be more specific with your questions. You have to know what the question is directed at. You have to have clarity with them. You have to have someone who's working intuitively. Are you going to do it yourself? Are you talking about a practitioner? All those things make a difference. And you can't just muscle test. You have to have practice with muscle testing, and you have to know what is a good answer and what's not. Like, I can muscle test and sometimes I'll get weird answers and I know I'm not getting a clear answer. So then I wait, and I know the difference between a super clear answer and I know the difference between one that's not. And when I get my super clear answers, I know those are right. And when I don't, then I don't trust them. So you have to be able to know how to do it. It's not so clear cut, but it's important to learn that difference and practice that. And plus, asking the right question is super important. Lisa says, is there still time to sign up for the cleanse? Absolutely, Lisa. I'm putting the post link down below or up above, wherever you see it pop up, and you can check it out, and there's still time to sign up. Absolutely. Would love to have you on there. Absolutely. Anna says, this protocol is really effective. I had surgery this summer and healed quickly, which I never experienced before. That's amazing. I actually have a woman who emailed me this past week, and she had brain surgery and a lot of surgery on the bones in the atlas and the neck. And she said that she was recovering so much faster than two women in her ward who were 20 years younger than her. And she said, please tell people. I have to still post her testimonial up, but she said, I want everybody to know. Please tell everybody this stuff works. And she's going to go back to work in 3 weeks after such a major surgery because she's improved so much and so quickly. So Anna, thank you for sharing that. Lizzie says, I have active EBV mono. My titers are going up instead of down. I know I have EBV in my organs and blood. Why are they not going down? I'm trying to follow the protocol. I just sent my info to you for hope and help. Well, I cannot answer why they might be going up, but as you try to kill off viral load, the activity can go up. But I don't know how long you've been doing it. So you have to know Epstein-Barr is really, I think they're more like, not exactly parasites, but they're kind of like that. They like leech off of you and your body. They want you to stay alive. If you start to knock them out, they have survival mechanisms. So that could be kicking in, or it could have been going up anyway. And it was headed in that direction, and it's showing up, and you happen to coincidentally start the protocols and it started to go up, but it was headed there anyway. So it sometimes takes time to rein it back in. You know what I mean? I really want you to just understand that. Chris says, I've started the MM protocol 3 months ago. I've seen some digestive improvements as I have no more constipation. Woohoo! I had it for more than 10 years. I know, isn't it amazing when something clears after so long? However, no matter what I eat, I have severe bloating as though 7 months pregnant, mostly with the same foods. I really love onion and garlic and oranges and watermelon, mango and papaya. Should I avoid it? I wouldn't like to cut it out. Basically, if you've had constipation for 10 years, you've had a ton of strep for 10 years. And also, if you've had constipation for 10 years, you haven't been moving your bowels properly. There's a lot of old fecal matter still stuck in there. And so the onions and garlic are really great for killing off strep that's in your gut. So I wouldn't stop doing them, because the reason that you get bloated is because they're doing so much die-off and killing that it creates all this gas, all this die-off, and then you get bloated. And you have ammonia permeability, which, if you don't know what that is to read about it in not Life-Changing Foods. It's in the first medical medium book. So I would definitely look at that. But if, even papaya, it's knocking out so much viral load in your gut. So, and watermelon, you don't want to have it on a completely empty stomach. It will not bloat you if you do that. When you have watermelon, after a meal, or it has to be had on a completely empty stomach, because watermelon is one of those foods that you cannot combine with anything else because it's a poor food combination. It absorbs so quickly in your gut that if you have food in front of it or behind it, it will start to ferment and cause gases. It starts to ferment super quickly. Just to give you a few ideas, okay? Christy says, is there a certain virus that causes kidney failure? Yeah, HHV6 is usually the culprit. Lisa says, how do you start raw after being a meat eater all of your life? very, very slowly, Lisa. You don't want to rush into anything. Have you downloaded my Not All Raw cleanse? It's a free download on the front page of my website. I would definitely download that and check that out. That is a gentle start, but also this cleanse that we're doing, Lisa, will be a gentle start into that as well. So if you want to know more about it, and if you're a seasoned cleanser and you're listening to this and you're like, it's not for me, it is for you, because you can take it up a notch if you choose to. However, if you're a new cleanser like Lisa is, you can definitely take it really slow. And I can teach you. In fact, I guide everybody. Everybody who does the cleanse does it differently. No two people are doing it exactly the same way. That's why it's an intuitive cleanse. And that's why I'm teaching you to activate your own intuition about what works for your body and what doesn't, and how to read those signals. So if you tell me you're having a certain symptom, I will interpret those signals for you to help you understand what's going on. And so will the admins who are supporting me. So it's a really great place to learn how to do it. And I would totally go for it. Check out the link. I'll post it again. It's really helpful to learn how to read your body's own signals so you can figure out your health and support yourself. And Bettina says, other than licorice root, how can you help raise low blood pressure 85 by 55? I don't think you're getting enough mineral salts. Are you eating enough greens? Are you eating enough celery? Are you eating enough spinach? Are you eating enough cucumbers? All those foods that contain the mineral salts, lettuces, mâche. We eat watercress, we eat cilantro, we eat parsley. I'm trying to make a point of eating a ton of green every day. Ali says, I had a routine ultrasound done on my gut yesterday. The radiographer found a small stone on my gallbladder and another in the left kidney. I'm already taking lemon water and honey every morning. Will this help dissolve the stones, or would I need something else? No, these should help resolve them. Naoko says, what do you recommend for 1.5-year-old child to be able to sleep well? It's hard for me to recommend something for a child without knowing more about them. So Naoko, if you want, you can definitely email our office. Just so you all know, we give priority to children and like someone who's severely or terminally ill. So those are true emergencies in our cases. And if you're pregnant and you need an appointment and you're about to have a baby, or you have a young baby, we give children the top priority. So if you'd like to book an appointment for your child, now would be the time to do it. And then we can talk more about that. But if you're having problems with your child sleeping, make sure that they're getting enough glucose. That would be my first recommendation. Super gentle, super, easygoing, like really trying to help you understand all the factors. And I would probably get some ancient minerals magnesium lotion and rub it on their feet. Casey Chatila. Hi, Casey. I have a consult with you in late December and did your intuitive cleanse, which was amazing. Thank you. Would you still recommend I do this cleanse too, or just wait for the consult? Casey, I think that the consult and the cleanse are two different things. To get you back or re-inspired to eating this way, I would highly recommend doing the cleanse. I think everybody needs to be doing it because it can help everyone to move forward into the next level of their healing. So I think it's super critical. But the consult and the cleanse are different. So the consult, you'll be getting a private reading. We'll be going over your supplements. And if you've done a cleanse, we can talk a little bit about diet, but really the diet piece is really in the cleanse. It really gets worked out for a lot of people. And the depth that you'll see with diet there is not the depth that we go in the consult. In the consult, we do more depth on supplements, like really getting into them. Yeah. And your symptoms. Julie, what do you think about bee pollen? What is it good to be used for? I think bee pollen's great. It has a lot of B vitamins in it. And, Anthony doesn't say that it's better than any other food, so I don't really give it that much importance. I think honey is great. Propolis is good. But bee pollen, he has never really said that it's bad. He's never said it's good. But I think if you wanted to consume it, it won't hurt you and it won't harm you. Just make sure you get something from a very sustainable source that isn't hurting any of the bees. Shelly says, my husband has started to eat fruit for breakfast and a fruit smoothie for lunch, but is still eating a lot of meat at dinner and bagged nuts at night. How do I explain to him this is not good? So Yeah, Anthony says eating fruit with meat together is not a bad idea, but if he's having fruit in the morning and then he's having meat at night, that's not terrible. But if you'd like for him to reduce his intake, just say that, all he needs to eat his meat with a ton of greens. So I'd make him a huge green salad to have with his meat, and the meat as a side. So, it's a side of meat with your salad as opposed to your meat with a side of salad. And that way you minimize the ill effects of the meat and the fat on your liver. I would try. The fact that he's eating nuts still at night tells me that he's not satiated at night, meaning he's got stuff in his, so ask him to do a trial. Just one day, can he eat a more plant-based meal at night? Give him a really big salad. Give him, baked potatoes you can put nut cheese on it, or baked potatoes, or you can do just potatoes and garlic baked in the oven with lots of herbs and spices. They taste absolutely delicious. And have him do a green salad with that. And maybe, make him a soup as well. So you have a lot of options, and plant-based foods can fill you up, but they provide a lot of starch. So, and sugar still, but it's not fruit. And have him see just how he feels different. You don't have to say we're doing this forever. We're just an experiment. We're just going to do this one night just to see how you feel. So I recommend that approach for him. Christina says, I have a 2.5 years bedridden. I was active, healthy, happy, successful in my job, a competitive swimmer. In 2015, I had a retina surgery and the doctors gave me lots of steroids and immunosuppressants. In less than 24 hours, my retina literally exploded. And I fell in the bed with more than 30 terrific symptoms like vertigo, lost sight, tremor, shakes, panic. Oh my gosh, yes. All the neurological stuff. Any doctors could explain that. My question is, how could it have happened? Is it possible for a virus to spread in such a manner in less than 24 hours and let a person with severe damage for years? Could toxins spread this way or what? I thought I was a very healthy woman before that. Yeah, you can have a whole bunch of factors that can suddenly trigger. That sounds like a really severe Epstein-Barr virus that got triggered by all the medication and the stress of the surgery and the stress on the immune system. And it just went crazy. And yes, many people have experienced this suddenly overnight turn in symptoms. And they're like, one day they're fine and the next day they're just not fine. So toxins do not spread like that, but viruses definitely can explode and do that. You must have, all of that adrenaline must have fed them really well. And that's really, really powerful to see. I know that you're looking for a consult, love, and your case is definitely more extreme. So it would be something that I would deal with in a consult. But if you haven't already started with the diet piece, definitely check out the cleanse. If you're struggling with diet, we can support you in the cleanse starting next week. So if you want that, then definitely sign up for that, or at least check it out. Lizzie says, can you share what Delta sleep track you listen to? I like Stephen Halpern. I'm going to butcher his name. Wait, it might be on my phone. So hold on, let me check. So I give you the exact track. It is StevenHalpern. Look up his sleep tracks. He's got a lot of different tracks out there. Lisa says, how much lysine should you start out on? What would you work up to for EBV? Lisa, maybe you're new to one of my lives, but I don't dosage over here. I cannot do it. I'm not allowed to do it, actually. So where I can dosage for you, I could teach you about dosaging. I'm going to be doing that in the Detox Mastery program. And I'm going to be doing that in, I don't do readings, but I can explain to you how dosaging works. I'm actually going to be doing this for the first time ever because of all the questions you guys have around this topic. So unless I'm in a consult with you privately or in the mastery program, I won't be able to explain dosaging over here. Unfortunately, one of the limitations of doing a Facebook Live. Naoko Cook says, what is the cause of the solution for tinnitus? It's caused by Epstein-Barr in the inner ear, and doing an Epstein-Barr protocol tends to really help with that. Clara says, is dyslexia or dysgraphia, learning disabilities in children, linked to heavy metals? Yes, it is. Christina says, now diagnosed with Lyme. I've tried more than 10 treatments in 2.5 years without any recovery. But some months ago, I realized I have a weird cycle in my symptoms. One day I have little symptoms decrease and I can do some stuff. And then other days I am not able to do anything. What is the cause of this 48-hour cycle? The viruses all have their own cycles. So, and mini cycles. So yeah. Roxana says, I followed the 28-day raw cleanse in June. And after that, I do an organic vegan diet 5 days a week. And I only have 1 serving of organic beef and serving of salmon on the weekend. On the weekend with 1 small glass of wine. But I'm still tired and my psoriasis is the worst. I also take cat's claw, licorice, lemon balm, B12, zinc, nettle, and quite a few others. Roxana, I'm going to tell you right now, wine and meat don't go together. Like if you want to do one, do either meat or do the wine, but don't do both together, because that's like asking for the worst trouble for yourself. You have to do one or the other. You cannot do both. If you did the 28-day cleanse, that's amazing. But then stick to a cleaner diet when you come out of it. I know you're only doing it once a week or on the weekend, but no bueno at all. I just want to say that it's Anthony is like, he's like freaks people out, not freaks people out, but he's like, don't do that combination, because you deplete your brain from sugar because of the fat, and the alcohol depletes it too. And you really, really hurt the liver by doing that. So please pick one or drop both. Don't do both though. Don't do both together. That's really not a good idea. And that's why you're still tired and your psoriasis is still there, because your body isn't being able to make any progress. Does that make sense? Stacy says, hair loss here too. It's the worst. I know. I get it. I really do. Habime says, what are acute strategies to severe itching due to eczema in a client who's not sleeping well? I would use Herbal Answers Aloe Force Gel. It's really great at calming the skin down. I would use Herbal Heal topically, and I would start there. Oatmeal baths can also be helpful for that. Okay, so if you guys are joining now, there's still some people joining this live. We're talking about the Detox Mastery and Cleanse that's coming up next week. Woohoo! I can't wait to support you guys. Check out the links that I've been posting. If you want to work with me, or you've been wanting to work with a practitioner and wanting to deepen into medical medium protocols, medical medium has all this information out there. We in the cleanses are taking it down, distilling it for you, making it practical, making it doable, making everyday choices easier. And we're able to support you and guide you in the cleanse to really help you direct the path of your healing. So if you're really wanting this, it's a great time to sign up. If you want to know the difference between mastery and detox, the cleanse, the mastery is a 3-month program, which will follow the cleanse. And if you're a practitioner, I highly recommend doing it, because we'll be getting into more practitioner level stuff. Or for those who are really into health, we'll be discussing a lot more depth. Like we'll be teaching you things that you can learn and practice and do on your own. And it's a place of great empowerment for your managing your own health and your symptoms. So definitely check it out. The links are all posted. I will post them again. It's really powerful to have a program that actually a program like this doesn't exist out there, which is providing a deep, in-depth helping community, having admins support you, having medical medium protocols. There's nothing like this. This is why I'm so excited to create this like haven. And I really want to help all of you be able to shine through your brightest selves. It's just amazing what we can do from healing our bodies. So Missy says, thoughts on hand sanitizer. If it's like essential oil based, the EO brand, which is just alcohol and essential oils, I guess that's kind of okay. You don't use a lot of it. Clean Well has a really good brand too. Triclosan is an all antibacterial soap, which is so toxic. I don't recommend it. Of course, sometimes when you're out and you don't have any other options, you still want to clean your hands. So you might want to use that, but definitely, Yeah, if it's got dirty ingredients in it, I definitely want to use it every day. And they encourage kids to use it multiple times a day. You want to get her a clean one. Lizzie says, how much aloe vera juice from Lakewood would you drink each day if you have SIBO? At least a tablespoon or two. You could go more, but I can't recommend a dosage. Susan says, I'm doing my yoga listening to you. Oh, great. My phone alerts me when you're on. That's so great. I didn't even know you could do that. Really? It can alert you when some people go on live? That's kind of cool. Missy says, we're so grateful for you too. Your presence and love shine through. Oh, thank you, honey. Denise says, I don't have any hair loss, but my hair grows extremely slow. What might cause this? EBV and adrenal fatigue. Exactly that. Stacy says, gosh, I've been dealing with late stage Lyme for the last 4 years, and I've been about every issue you've talked about today. Yeah, because Lyme is just a bucket of symptoms, and they're caused by Epstein-Barr, strep, adrenal fatigue, blood sugar issues, cofactors, heavy metals. All of them are, unfortunately, people who have symptoms of Lyme are just dealing with a lot of different poisonings from viruses and metals and pesticides and bacteria. So you have to work on each of those issues in a Lyme situation. Tracy says, I don't have a gallbladder. I know I need to keep my fat very low, but should I be taking digestive enzymes to break my food down, or what supplement would you recommend? We love you. Oh, thank you. Definitely do a low-fat diet for sure. Supplement-wise, you can take enzymes. I would make sure they're like papaya enzymes, or you could just eat papayas. Eat papayas every day, and you'll have enough enzymes to power you through, and pineapples too. They're very high in the right kinds of enzymes. Carissa says, good morning, Muneeza. Can you explain the cause of PCOS? It is Epstein-Barr. To me, it makes more sense that it's strep since it's cystic like acne. Yeah, but you definitely have in PCOS, you have strep present, but it's Epstein-Barr. Remember, Epstein-Barr grows growths in the body, like tumors and cysts and nodules and bunions and, all of those types of growths are caused by Epstein-Barr. So it's not cystic. And so cystic acne basically is pus that shows up through the lymphatic system under the skin in a sort of a cyst type situation, but it's not the same. So in a cyst in the body or in your ovary, it's not filled with pus. It's just a growth where your body is encapsulating Epstein-Barr toxins. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. All right. Casey says, I wholeheartedly agree about the muscle testing. Thank you for talking about it. You're welcome. Kim says, I have fibromyalgia, have been stressing lately over a decision to move or not. I'm experiencing hot flashes, a constant feeling of burning and tingling all over my body. Are they related to my fibro? Yes, but it sounds like you might have EBV and shingles together. So I would bring in things from Anthony Shingles' protocol from the book. Yeah, I got that. Stacy says, what do you think about colonics, enemas, coffee enemas? Coffee enemas, no coffee enemas. The liver works really hard to support your adrenals, and you don't want to shoot coffee directly into your liver. It's going to screw things up. But colonics and enemas are okay if you do them at the right time for the right reasons and not all the time. Carrie says, I love these sessions. You're welcome. Belladonna Anadal Bria Rose. Hi. Lorraine says, what time do you stop eating for the day so stomach is not full when going to bed? I usually eat my last meal around 6 with my kids, and then I'll just drink something. Or sometimes I eat even later, but I have to have some fruit if I need it, because from 6 till 10 when I go to bed, that's too long a time to not put anything in my system. Sometimes honey also and tea is really super helpful. Emily says, how can you differentiate with symptoms between the different varieties of HHV? I cannot discuss that here, but ask me in the mastery program. I might get into it a little bit. Christy says, I've done every cleanse and still haven't gotten to 100% raw. It's still worth it. Thank you for saying that, Christy. But Christy, I like you're going to be a person who will take a lot longer to get to doing 100% raw, and that's okay. And I have a client who's actually on here who took 3 years to be able to sustain a 100% raw diet, because the nervous system has to heal, the adrenals have to heal, the blood sugar has to heal. And then when you can sustain that and your nervous system is stronger, then you can handle it a little bit more. If you can't handle it, do not worry. Do not worry. You're still healing. Chris says, husband's ankles have stayed swollen for days since the flight. What can cause this? His liver's probably a little slow. So Chris, I would have him drink lots of cucumber juices and green juices and cranberry and burdock root tea, because cranberry juice, or you can put cranberries through, make a smoothie with them, or burdock root, dandelion, just to help that liver release some of that edema. Susan said, just signed up for Mastery and Detox. Woohoo! Susan, I'm so thrilled to have you on board. That is amazing. Amazing. Rachel, thank you for your comments. I love you, Rachel. Stacy says, being bedridden like Christina is next to impossible to do something like a cleanse because we're so dependent on others. I need a fairy godmother. But Stacy, you can tell others who are making food for you to make particular things that would support you more while you're bedridden, you know? So even if you can't get the food piece 100%, you can learn things in it that can support your progress, that you can share with your family members and work out a plan on how to next support you. Like if they're going to the groceries anyway, you can ask them to purchase certain types of fruits or vegetables. You can ask them if they're making food for you anyway, what you need. So it doesn't have to be, it's not a strict cleanse in that way. Maybe a lot of you have done cleanses before. My cleanse is like nothing that's out there because it's an intuitive cleanse. And I'm teaching you how to intuit what works for you and what does not. So you get to be in the driver's seat. You get to make the choices about what will work for you and what will not. And you get to ask us questions to support and guide you while you're doing those choices, right? Making those new changes or choices. So still check it out. Even if you just did the 14-day cleanse, it would be a place of great learning for you, especially being bedridden, and you would have a community to support you, which really, when you're bedridden and you can just jump on Facebook and get help because you're having a bad day, that in itself is really powerful too. So Fionn says, can you repeat the name of the magnesium? It's Ancient Minerals Magnesium. Michelle says, I've been going to specialists for the last few months. I've been experiencing migraines, headaches, feeling like you're rocking on a boat, tinnitus, ear fullness. Not sure whether it's Meniere's or vestibular migraines. I'm not sure where to start. Are both these caused by Epstein-Barr? They are both caused by Epstein-Barr. They are. Michelle, if you're looking for an appointment, and it is far out right now. However, if you join the Cleanse and the Mastery program, you would get immediate support for these issues. I promise you. We can guide you where to start, how to get going, and what kind of foods to incorporate. And you may not be able to get like a dosage protocol from me, which I can only do in a consult, but I will be explaining how to dose yourself. There will be lots of people in there with your issues. And they'll say, look, I'm taking this, and this. This is where the support comes in. Does that make sense? This is a very powerful place to be, especially if you're looking to jump on to a program that can support you. This will be super supportive. Chris, are you planning on teaching the mastery class next year? Yes, Chris, I will do it twice a year only. So next year it will happen around May. Desiree says, is matcha green tea okay? It's still got caffeine in it, so I'm not a fan of caffeine, but it's lower caffeine than, say, black tea or coffee. So, you know, it's still better. If you're trying to wean off of coffee and black tea or more caffeine, this is definitely a better way to go. Athena says, hey, Muneeza, what boxed veggie broth do you use? I don't. I never found anything that works for me. I make my own. Basically, I make healing broth from Anthony's recipe, and I freeze it into ice cube trays. And then when I need a couple of, and I boil it down. So I boil it down or let the water simmer off until it becomes a little more concentrated. And then I freeze it in ice cube trays. And then I use that and constitute it when I need broth. But I don't use it too much. I tend to make soups without broth, meaning I will pour water into them after I've sauteed a few, if I either saute onions and garlic, or I'll make my broth as my soup is cooking. So I know it's quicker for people to use broth, but I don't like to use other broth, so I don't. Ashley says, has Anthony ever mentioned the true age girls are supposed to get their first period? It seems like so young these days. Yes, plastics and heavy metals are to blame for that, 100%, and the viral loads. Anna says, hi, I would like to join, but can't do full raw. Yeah, Anna, it's not fully raw. This cleanse is not designed to be fully raw. If you want to take it fully raw, you can, but you don't have to, because the recipe is already designed to be a blend of raw and cooked. And the thing is that you can really lower your fat even on a cooked diet. So we talk about all that. So it would be perfect for you, especially if you cannot do raw right now. Susan says, I didn't sign up for phone alerts. My phone just knows that I want to listen to all of your knowledge. That is so funny, Susan. I love that. Alicia says, what would cause dental pain that moves around my mouth? Dentists can't find anything wrong. That's nerves. That's probably sounds like some shingles going on in your mouth. Kim says, follow up to my fiber and burning question. I've been taking liquid zinc along with vitamin C, B12, D, homocysteine. Due to high cholesterol, is zinc good to take daily forever? Yes, zinc is one of those things that I tell most people, you probably take it forever. So I know I'm going to. It's just so deficient in our soils and in our food. Roxana says, is it highly recommended to cut all salt, and why? Not highly recommended to cut all of it. You could probably still keep a little bit, but you want to get more of your salt from celery and from spinach and things like that, from greens. Yesterday I had a salad, which I haven't posted yet, but it was so good. I had cucumber noodles, onions, chopped onions into little pieces. I had in it apples, and I had a little bit of nut cheese in it, and I had, I think, sprouts. Can't remember what else I put in it. But it was so delicious, and I didn't salt it at all. So, when you have enough of those foods, you start to lose that craving for salt. But really, the salt from celery is enough to tide you over and to heal salt cravings, because celery heals the adrenals, and low adrenals is what causes salt cravings anyway. But yeah, salt preserves the body in not a good way. Serena Mowry, I'm Carissa's twin. I had a feeling you guys were related. I have PCOS too. Thank you for answering her question, and thank you for all you do. You're amazing. Thank you for being here, you guys. Kathy says, you mentioned that bunions are caused by EBV. I rid my body of EBV. Will bunions reduce? Or is surgery the only option? No, surgery is never only the option. If I get rid of if you rid your body of EBV, you'll definitely help reduce the bunion growth. And then it can clear up on its own. When a body encapsulates something, it has the ability to let go of that as the immune system fights and the other viral loads decrease, and it can then clear it up on its own. I mean, I've seen people's tumors go away on a clean diet because the body encapsulated it and then let it go because the diet cleaned up and you healed. Habime says, just hearing you confirm symptoms and causes really helps and lifts people up. Oh, Habime, thank you for that reflection. This is why I do this. All right, how many more questions do I have? All right, so I've got a few more. I've got like 5 or 6 more. I'm going to do those and then I'm going to stop, because you know what? My kids will be home soon and then you won't be able to hear me anyway. All right, so Alexis says, what causes someone to have difficulty drinking 16 to 32 ounces of water that fills them up so much that they can feel that they won't eat anything? I'm not sure of that one, because I think I need more information. I would need to ask a few more questions about that. That in its own doesn't make sense to me. There's something else going on. I think perhaps there's a gut issue going on, and really poor digestion going on as well. That's my initial take. Trish says, yes, I've done 2 cleanses with you. I couldn't do 100%, but I learned so much that it's helped me get healthy as I can do more. See, that's my point, Trish. Thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what the purpose is. This is the purpose. Is even if you don't do 100% raw, or you don't do the cleanse 100% the way it's laid out, I want to teach you how to take care of yourself. I want you to be the master of your body and be in the driver's seat around understanding what's going on. Understanding and having the right information and knowing what to do is so empowering. Seriously. Denise says, thank you so much for talking more about the adrenals. I'm committed to doing better with adrenal sex, which I know I desperately need. Yes. Lizzie says, I'm struggling with stress and anxiety. Taking lemon balm, Pharmagaba knocks me out. I'm about to take an anti-anxiety med. I'm so sorry to hear that. So are you doing, I'd need to know more about that, Lizzie. And I can't really answer this here because it would take a lot more Q&A. But if you jumped onto one of the programs, I promise I will support you with that, right? Being able to really get into what you're doing and what other strategies you can use. And other people will have ideas too, because they've been there. So you'll get a ton of support. Definitely check out the program, because like I said, I'm limited in how much I can do on Facebook, but in the programs, I can do a heck of a lot more. Okay, so Alexis says, recommends astaxanthin, resveratrol for some things. What are the brands he recommends, as I don't see these on his preferred brands for these on the website? Alexis, please email our office, support@muneezaahmed.com, and we will get them to you. Fionn says, thank you, Muneeza. I signed up last night for the cleanse and mastery. I'm so excited to be doing a cleanse with you again. Yay! I've loved being part of your cleanses and cannot wait. I am so excited. Thank you, Fionn, for joining. Galina, are you watching? You're actually talking to someone else. Roxana, thank you. You're welcome. Kim says, another question. What do you order to recommend taking liquid zinc water, lemon water, celery juice, along with thyroid meds, which all require an empty stomach in the morning? Usually I'll say to people, if you want to do your thyroid med first, that's fine. But then I would do lemon water. And then after that, do the supplements, the liquid zinc, silver, B12 should go there, and then celery juice, and then your metal smoothie with the other supplements. I hope that helps. Stacy says, hey, any tips on how to heal the mind after emotional trauma? Yeah, definitely want to do emotional clearing work. You want to get rid of the trauma. So emotion and body code work is super helpful for that. EMDR can be helpful. Body talk can be helpful. Check out practitioners for those protocols. And that's super great to be able to get on with those. I know that one of the admins who's in our cleanse is an emotion and body code practitioner. So I know a lot of people have gone to her when they've found out that she does this work. So I can definitely recommend her to you as well. But we'll be talking in the mastery program, Shay, we'll be talking more about emotional support and emotional healing. And so the 2 calls every month, one is going to be on physical health and the other is going to be on emotional health. And every month we're going to be talking about a topic, and I'll give you exercises and homework to do on different things, how to tackle your emotional landscape. So super, super helpful there. Okay, so best water filtration system is Berkey. I only recommend what Anthony does, Kim. Shelly says, my brother just told me that your live show showed up in his FB feed now because I commented on it. I wanted to mention this in case others didn't realize comments are not private. They're not. This is a live feed, so it goes everywhere, and your friends will see it. Everyone will see it. If it was in a group, it would be private. Robin says, thank you, Muneeza. The best part of working up today, aside from kisses from my dogs. Ah, thank you so much. Sarah says, Muneeza, hi, Sarah from London. Must do some more emotion code with you. Hope you're well. Thank you. I would love to work with you, Sarah. Karen, hi, Pam. I love you too. Kathy, awesome info. Thank you so much. Shay Marie, you're welcome. All right, you guys, I am almost done. Before I go, I want to share with you one last thing. I have a friend, Michelle Colt, who is running the Inside Game workshop here in New York on November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And, I'm going. My husband and I are both going to attend. She's very kindly invited us to go with her. And it's a fantastic program and workshop. If you want to find out more, I know some of you have worked with Michelle already because I've recommended her private work with you. But check it out. If you're in the area, her email is michelle@insidegame.com. michelle@insidegame.com. But she is amazing. I cannot wait to connect with her and do this workshop for myself. But her work deals with also the emotional part and the mental part of the medical medium work. And it really jives well together. And if you're looking to get stronger in that way, that's definitely another resource to support you. And I love you guys. You take care. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Enjoy. Happy healing. And look out for my post on my arm pictures. There's going to be a lot of stuff rocking out there. I love you all. Take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. All right, let me find the link.